You're watching TAG TV.
Good evening, welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Vishakha Ratan. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 23rd of May. One civilian killed in Pakistan firing along border in India's Jammu and Kashmir. US school shooting victim laid to rest in Pakistan's Karachi city. And 26% of voter registration centers in Afghanistan not yet open due to security threats. And now for all the details, one person was killed and two injured as Pakistani troops continue to resort to ceasefire violation along the border in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Wednesday. Meanwhile, 6 civilians were injured in a grenade attack in Anantnag district of the province.
Heavy shelling by Pakistani troops along the border in India's Jammu and Kashmir province killed one civilian and left two injured in Katwa district's Hiranagar sector on Wednesday. Locals in Arispura sector of Jammu district also complained about continuous firing, making it difficult for them to move out of their houses. Bullets struck houses, vehicles and destroyed farmlands were also seen in the region. Pakistan from early this week has continued to resort to unprovoked firing and heavy shelling targeting civilian areas along the border in the northern province.
हमारे गांव में अभी तकरीबन पूरी रात ही फायर चलता रहा और सुबह तकरीबन 5 बजे ये सामने शेलिंग हुआ और हमारी गाड़ी भी नुकसान हो चुकी है पूरी.
Meanwhile, 6 civilians were injured in a grenade attack in Anantnag district of the province on Wednesday. The injured were immediately rushed to a hospital where they were undergoing treatment. The area had been cordoned off by security forces till the last reports came in. India accuses Pakistan of training and arming militants and helping them infiltrate across the border to spread unrest in Kashmir Valley. Pakistan denies the allegations.
A high alert has been sounded in India's southern Kerala province following the confirmation of at least 10 deaths due to the dangerous Nipah virus. The rare virus spread by fruit bats can cause flu-like symptoms and brain damage.
A rare virus spread by fruit bats which can cause flu-like symptoms and brain damage has killed 10 people in southern India, health officials said on Tuesday, with at least 9 more being treated. The victims of the deadly virus also included a nurse in southern Kerala province. An assistant professor at a regional medical college in Kerala said that 18 people screened for the virus and 12 proved positive.
Reports of 18 cases has come out and 12 of them are actually positive. We sent the specimens where we suspect, the clinically Nipah is suspected, especially Nipah is suspected when we have got fever with some kind of brain involvement.
There is no vaccine for the Nipah virus, which is spread through body fluids and can cause encephalitis or inflammation of the brain, the World Health Organization or WHO says. The usual treatment is to provide supportive care.
इसके बचाव के लिए जो रोकथाम के लिए भारत सरकार ने एक बड़ी टीम यहाँ भेजी है और उस टीम के माध्यम से हम जो हमारे डॉक्टर सुजीत कुमार जो सिंह है निदेशक है नेशनल सेंटर फॉर डिजीज कंट्रोल उसके नेतृत्व में 6-7 लोगों की टीम गई है जिसमें डॉक्टर एस.के. जैन आदि सारे डॉक्टर हैं एनसीडीसी के और इसमें मवेशी का भी एक असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर रैंक का कोई पदाधिकारी वहां गया है.
While the cause of the outbreak is still being investigated, visiting national health officials tied the initial deaths to too many bats in a well in Kerala from which the victims drew water.
In news from Pakistan, Sabika Sheikh, the 17-year-old Pakistani exchange student killed in a mass shooting at a high school in US last week, was laid to rest in her hometown Karachi on Wednesday. Sabika had planned to return home in few weeks for Eid al-Fitr, marking the end of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan. Sabika Sheikh, the Pakistani exchange student who was killed in Texas high school shooting last week, was laid to rest in her hometown Karachi on Wednesday. Her funeral prayers were offered at Hakim Said Ground, attended by several political dignitaries alongside her family and friends. A Turkish airliner brought the coffin of Sheikh from Texas early on Wednesday and was received by family members and officials of the US consulate at the airport. The body was transported to her residence where bereaved family and mourning relatives were present.
तो उनके वालिद का बहुत दोस्त हूँ पुराना, लेकिन यकीन करें कि मेरे खुद कुछ अल्फाज नहीं निकल पाते मैं इनके लिए कहूँ। बस बहरहाल बहुत नुकसान हुआ है हमारे पाकिस्तान का। ये बच्ची बहुत कुछ करना चाह रही थी पाकिस्तान के लिए।
वहाँ पे अमेरिकन गवर्नमेंट को इस बारे में सोचना चाहिए और कुछ ना कुछ पाबंदियाँ लगानी चाहिए एमुनेशन के हवाले से कि और इतने छोटे बच्चों के हाथ में एमुनेशन कैसे आ जाता है।
Sabika was part of an exchange program funded by the US State Department. She had been due to return to Pakistan on June 9 at the end of the school year. Moving on, Sindhi students held a massive rally in Pakistan's Islamabad city in support of Sindhi political activists who became the victim of enforced disappearances. Activists have long accused Pakistani forces of gross human rights violations against innocent Sindhi people.
A massive rally was held by Sindhi students in Pakistan's capital Islamabad city in support of Sindhi political activists who became victims of enforced disappearances. The protesters shouted pro-freedom slogans and condemned state-sponsored terrorism while demanding the release of missing Sindhi political activists. Since 2010, there have been over 1,200 cases of enforced disappearances in Sindh. Around 160 people have disappeared since February last year. Activists have also blamed Pakistani forces of using enforced disappearances as a tactic to silence critics and instill fear. Earlier, on May 20th, a protest camp being held by families of abducted Sindhi political activists was attacked by Pakistani security forces in Karachi city. The people who are enforcedly disappeared are mainly human rights and political activists or journalists who criticize government's policies and actions against Sindhi people.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghanistan's Independent Election Commission has said currently over 20% of voter registration centres have not yet opened in the country. The poll body blamed serious security threats and the recent militant attacks for the closure of the centres. The Independent Election Commission of Afghanistan or IEC on Monday said currently almost 26% of voter registration centres have not yet opened across the country. According to the poll body, from more than 5,000 voter registration centres in the country, 607 centres are closed on a permanent basis. IEC officials said the centres are not open due to security threats and around 354 centres face serious security threats in the country.
در حدود 410 مرکز موادش تا فعلا نرسیده باشن و این 410 مرکز که در مجموع در 41 ولسوالی می باشه در غزنی شامل است که شما در جریان هستین غزنی 17 ولسوالی است و در حدود 132 مرکز داره و او یک مشکلی که در اوجا به وجود آمده تا فعلا ما نتونستیم که موادش انتقال بدیم و باقی 24 ولسوالی دیگه است در سراسر کشور که اکثریت از این قرار است هوایی انتقال شود.
There have been numerous attacks by the terror group Taliban in recent time on registration centres, underlining the threat to preparations for the polls scheduled to be held in October. The upcoming parliamentary and district council polls are seen as a key test of a fragile political system which has been undermined by repeated episodes of electoral fraud in Afghanistan. More on news from Afghanistan. An exhibition showcasing hundreds of Islamic-era relics and artifacts in Afghanistan opened on Tuesday. The relics, which were displayed at the event, were discovered by Afghan security forces who seized them from smugglers trying to get them out of the country.
An exhibition showcasing over 100 Islamic-era relics and artifacts opened in Afghanistan's National Museum in capital Kabul on Tuesday. Organized under the title Relics Belonging to Islamic Arts, the exhibition opened to celebrate International Museum Day. The relics were discovered in historical regions of Helmand and Ghazni provinces by Afghan security forces who seized them from smugglers trying to get them out of the country.
بیشتر از 100 قلم آثار هستند که شامل دوره‌های تاریخی فرهنگ اسلامی مانند دوره‌های طاهری، صفاری، سامانی، غزنوی، غوری، تیموری و همچنین دوره‌های بعدتر از میشه.
The relics displayed date back to the 11th century and some are from 19th century. Meanwhile, UNESCO has already hailed Afghanistan for the work it has done in the past few years to preserve its history.
Muslims across India are gathering with their families for traditional meals after the holy fast and praying together during the holy month of Ramadan. Devotees gathered in northern cities of India to mark the festival with fervour and devotion. Celebrations of Islamic holy month of Ramadan were seen in full swing in India's northern state of Uttar Pradesh on Tuesday as Muslims prayed for peace and prosperity for their family. Revelers from little kids to the elderly thronged markets, offered namaz and shared community meals with their friends and families in northern Uttar Pradesh's Gorakhpur city.
हम क्लास 6 से रोज़ा रहते हैं और रोज़े में हम लोग तिलावत करते हैं कुरान की और तस्बीह पढ़ते हैं, नमाज़ें पढ़ते हैं। फिर जब डंका बज जाता है तो हम लोग वो अफ्तारी खोलते हैं, पूरा परिवार साथ में मिलकर अफ्तारी करता है और फिर अफ्तारी करने के बाद हम लोग जाते हैं नमाज़ पढ़ने। नमाज में हम लोग दुआ मांगते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला हम लोग को सेहत अता फरमाए, अल्लाह ताला पूरे परिवार को सेहत अता फरमाए और वो देश के लिए देश का गौरव ऊपर करे।
Similar scenes were seen in northern Aligarh city where the markets were abuzz with activity. People thronged roadside stalls for fritters, traditional Indian lemonade and other yogurt delicacies. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, which involves rigorous fasting for about 30 days, including festive foods like dates, typically served as appetizers before a lavish meal is served after sunset. An art competition was held in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province recently to raise awareness on autism. Around 60 autistic children took part in the competition called Artistic Not Autistic. The competition aimed to build their confidence.
An art competition was recently organized in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province to help raise awareness about autism in the valley. Autistic children took part in the competition themed Artistic Not Autistic, along with other school children to paint and color during the competition. The purpose of the camp was to improve the confidence and build courage of the children so that they can feel comfortable being themselves.
This is an art competition. They have come for the competition. Theme हमने autism रखी ताकि वो घर जाके autism पे research करे. हमारा जो jury है वो judge करेगा उनके art pieces on autism theme.
Large number of students from different schools of Valley, including 60 autistic children, participated in the competition.
ये बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा रहा क्योंकि आज तक मैंने बहुत पार्टिसिपेट किया आर्ट कंपटीशन में, बट ये पहला ऐसा कंपटीशन है जहाँ पे स्पेशली एबल्ड बच्चों के साथ हमें ड्राइंग करने का मौका मिल रहा है। ये मेरी लाइफ का सबसे बेस्ट एक्सपीरियंस है और आई एम लविंग दीज किड्स। ये बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे हैं, हम नॉर्मल बच्चों से भी बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे हैं, बहुत आगे गए हुए हैं बच्चे।
Autism is developmental disorder characterized by troubles with social interaction and communication and by restricted and repetitive behavior. Roughly 23 of every 10,000 children in India have autism, according to the first rigorous estimate of the country's autism prevalence.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. One civilian killed in Pakistan firing along border in India's Jammu and Kashmir. US school shooting victim laid to rest in Pakistan's Karachi city. And 26% of voter registration centers in Afghanistan not yet open due to security threats. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
watching Tag TV.